Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse, Batman Forever, Build-A-Figure or Collect-A-Build, the Nightmare Bat. This is basically a giant Man-Bat type creature from Batman Forever, but it wasn't in any of the versions of the film that we've seen. It's from some deleted scenes, and it's not even Man-Bat, it's just sort of a giant bat that represents, I don't know, Bruce Wayne's psyche or something, and he confronts it in the film. There were a lot of themes in Batman Forever that were cut out of the film, and this is a big part too. It looks to make a really cool figure. Can be Man-Bat, can be a Nightmare Bat, can be really whatever you want it to be, but it's very interesting they would do a Build-A-Figure from something that didn't actually appear in the film. In this video, we're going to take a look at all the different parts of the Nightmare Bat. We'll put them together, and then we'll compare them with a bunch of other relevant action figures. You have to get the entire wave to complete them. Batman, Robin, the Riddler, Two-Face, and of course, then you get the Nightmare Bat. So here's the front of all the packaging of this wave, and here's the back of the packaging. Doesn't show any of the individual figures, they all focus on the Nightmare Bat. So with no further ado, let's open them up and put together this giant bat. And of course, I did get 2 sets of the Batman Forever wave, one of which to open and enjoy and complete the bat, and the other set to keep unopened in my complete Batman-related unopened action figure collection. Alright, now that these figures out of the package, here they are with all their Nightmare Bat pieces laid out next to them. Batman comes with the bat's head, Robin with its left wing, the Riddler with the torso and legs, and Two-Face with the right wing. So let's put them together. So first of all, we have the Val Kilmer Batman. He comes with Nightmare Bat's head, as well as a display stand to prop him up. Here's the stand fully put together. Big, large circle. It does say DC, and it's got this little post with a hole to fit into your bat. And then, of course, we have the Nightmare Bat's head just chilling there by itself. Next, we have Robin. This is the second of 4 figures, and he comes with Man-Bat's left wing. And then we have the Riddler. He comes with the Nightmare Bat's torso and legs. And finally, we have Two-Face coming with the Nightmare Bat's right wing. So here are all 4 pieces of the Nightmare Bat. Let's get them fully assembled. Here's that bat, fully assembled. He looks really good. Look at the face there. It's evil, demonic, has a signature bat nose, bat ears, red eyes, fangs exposed, articulated jaw, looks great. Nice texturing on all his sort of fur. The wings themselves also look great. Kind of veiny, good texturing, good paint job. Backside fur, a little bit of tail, pre-post legs that do not move whatsoever. The only articulation he has is a little bit in the neck, the jaw, and the shoulders. Beyond that, he's just a sort of static piece that you'll put on the display stand and he'll just sort of float like so. So this Nightmare Bat doesn't come with any accessories, but we have this display stand here. Display stand has a black base, a little post with a ball in it that goes inside of his stomach. And I kind of need this post to have the Nightmare Bat sort of floating like this. And he can rotate up and down, but if you don't have it, he doesn't stand. I mean, his feet are completely sort of stretched out like he's flying, or possibly hanging upside down. You can balance him and lean him back against like a wall like that, but it just looks weird with his feet on the little tiptoes there. So really the only way to display this guy is by using that display stand. So here's this giant Nightmare Bat onto this display stand. It has a little ball that goes into his chest area, which means he's always going to have that hole exposed there. Now, you can have him mid-flight, heading straight toward you. You can lean him forward about that much, and you can lean him back quite a bit. So there's some different options how you can display this guy, and I think that's pretty cool. It would be nice if he could sort of stand upright, had articulated legs, etc., but still a gorgeous piece. The only scene I remember seeing, a deleted scene, where Val Kilmer was sort of standing right in front of this thing, confronting it, and it was standing upright, not really flying, if I remember correctly, and I very well might not be. You can sort of even rotate him a little bit, like he's gliding or flying in different poses, so I do appreciate that. But it'd be nice if you weren't required to have the display stand to display it properly. Kind of got to balance him a little bit. I do appreciate there's almost like articulation there. It's a ball joint, so you can't rotate and move him around. That is pretty nice. I imagine there's a lot of people that might suspend him with wires off the ceiling, have him sort of floating in midair. But they give you all the tools to really do what you need to do with this guy. And if you want to, yes, you can use him as Man-Bat. Although the lack of articulation is a little frustrating. He does have some. We'll go over that in just a sec. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at this Nightmare Bat and his lack of accessories, let's check out his measurements. So if you have him standing upright like this, from bottom to the top, standing about 7.75 inches tall. And his wing spread, which is fantastic, is just slightly over 20 inches wide. And if you're curious how tall he is on the display stand, I don't know, about 7.2 inches tall. And for his articulation, so starting with his head, he has a little bit of articulation in the neck. Before we get to that, he has this articulated jaw, and I love that sort of stuff. His neck has kind of a ball joint, it can rotate from side to side, and it can look up and down at least a little bit there. Then we have his shoulders. Shoulders has a ball joint side of there. It allows him to flap his wings up and down. You can also kind of rotate him around a bit as well. And that's really all the articulation that he has. It is a nice effect, being able to flap the wings like he's flying, gliding, etc. Rotation. You can see the giant hole in his sort of chest area, which you won't see depending on how you pose him. It looks great, and it's just really cool. Here's a look at this Nightmare Bat, flying in the night skies under moonlight, coming right toward you. And here he is, hanging upside down, off of a little shelf in my Batman room, just like a bat. Now let's check him out, next to some other action figures. And I debated whether I should review him on the flight stand, or just sort of leaning against the wall behind him. I decided to do it this way because this is how most people are going to display the figure, using the flight stand. It's really intended to be posed in mid-flight, and not standing. Here he is, next to the rest of his wave. This is the Batman Forever movie wave. We have the Val Kilmer Batman in his sonar suit, Chris O'Donnell Robin, Jim Carrey the Riddler, and Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face. Get them all, and you can make this Nightmare Bat, which I imagine a lot of people are going to be using for Man-Bat. Now, I love this wave. They covered all the bases. But I really want to get Val Kilmer in his Panther suit. That's the suit he wore for the majority of the film. The sonar suit here is an experimental suit they used at the very end, after Jim Carrey threw bombs and destroyed all the regular bat suits. It's quote-unquote cooler, but I much prefer his Panther suit. I hope they go back and make a figure of that. And while they're at it, we could definitely use a second version of Jim Carrey's Riddler. He wore so many different over-the-top suits in the film. If they made those two things, I would consider the collection pretty complete. But of course, I would love to add sugar and spice to my Two-Face gang. McFarlane made one other Batman Forever figure. This is a Val Kilmer Batman from the Batman Ultimate Movie 6-pack. Painted a little bit differently, but besides that, the same figure. Then, next to a Mattel Batman Forever Batman. This actually is him in his Panther suit, but it's a much crappier figure. And next, with the Batman and Robin movie wave. Batman and Robin was a continuation of Batman Forever. Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Mr. Freeze, and Poison Ivy. Mr. Freeze was a Build-A-Figure in this wave. They really didn't find a way to get us a Bane from that movie. Now, unlike the Batman Forever wave, where they made his final suit and not his main suit, in this one, they made George Clooney's main suit, but not his final suit. I would love to get all of them in their ice suits from the end of the film. So, I think there's still more they can release from this movie. And here, next to McFarlane's 1989 Michael Keaton Batman. Technically, those movies are all in the same universe. Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Robin. The style changed quite a bit, but that is what you're supposed to sort of accept and just move forward with. A little easier to accept that Batman Forever takes place in the same as 89, more so than Batman and Robin. Now let's check them out. Next to some other Man-Bat figures. This is not technically Man-Bat, but you could very easily use him as one. Here he is, next to McFarlane's Man-Bat. This is a larger Mega figure. And here he is, next to my DC Direct Man-Bat figures. DC Direct also made these Ninja Man-Bat figures. They're army builders. They were made for the League of Shadows. And these are not Kirk Langstrom. Then, with my Mattel Man-Bat figures, there's a transparent version of this guy here, and I'd like to track him down one day. And now, next to a couple of Kenner Man-Bat figures. And here, next to a custom Francine Langstrom female Man-Bat. Here he is, next to another Nightmare Bat-type creature. This is from the Mattel DC Multiverse Batman vs Superman line. This is actually, I believe, called Nightmare Bat Creature or something like that. So we have the Nightmare Bat next to the Nightmare Bat Creature. They had completely different kind of roles in the movie. The giant bat was sort of Bruce Wayne, facing his own inner demons, his own psyche about Batman. And this Nightmare Bat Creature thing was in Batman vs Superman. Ben Affleck was sleeping. That thing came out of his mother's grave and attacked him. They're both pretty cool and appropriate for the Man-Bat shelf. And then here he is, next to a NECA Gremlins Bat Creature. I always put this with my Man-Bat figures as well. Thought it kind of fit the theme. Here's my entire Man-Bat collection. Although this Nightmare Bat is not Man-Bat, he's more bat than man. He's definitely going with my Man-Bat figures. Here he is next to a NECA Ninja Turtles Wingnut, which is clearly inspired by Batman. And then here he is next to a couple of NECA Gargoyles figures. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is next to the most recent Platinum Wave. Bullseye Batman, Hugo Strange as Batman, Blue and Gray Ben Affleck Batman for the Flash, and Batman Begins Lucius Fox. Here's the Nightmare Bat, next to the most recent Batman Wave. We have both the Platinum and regular versions of the Batman Reborn Dick Grayson Batman, Adam West Batman, and both the regular and Platinum versions of World's Finest Fusion Batman Superman. And here he is, next to the 6th wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures. Clock King, Red Hood, Ragman, and Agent Liberty. There's a Platinum Chase variant of each of these figures, and I'm going to hunt for all 4. If anybody has a lead on where I'll be able to get one for a reasonable price, or can possibly help me out, please drop me a line in the comments below. It is much appreciated. Then, next to the Walmart exclusive Gold Label Vampire Shazam and Max Mercury. And now, next to the DC Classics Darkseid Mega Figure, here's the Nightmare Bat. Next to the McFarlane Toy Store exclusive Patina, Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman, and the San Diego Comic Con exclusive Superman Tribute Statue. And here he is, next to both the Platinum and regular versions of the Cyborg Superman and the DC Rebirth Tim Drake Robin. Then, next to the previous Platinum Wave, Sportsmaster, New 52 Reverse Flash, and Manhunter. And now, with the second digital wave, Green Arrow, the Atom, and Superman. And finally, next to the 5th wave of Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Sergeant Rock, Manga Batman, and Connor Kent Superboy. So overall, it's a really cool looking Build-A-Figure. Just giant Nightmare Bat Creature, and it looks fantastic, but I do have some issues with it. So, number one, I wish it could stand up on its hind legs. I believe in the film, there's a part where Val Kilmer is looking right at it and standing up in front of him, and people saw leaked shots of that and thought Man-Bat was supposed to be in the film, it was cut, and all this different stuff. But I would love to be able to stand him upright and have him facing Batman. I'd love to be able to have him stand upright and look more like Man-Bat. Now, I know he's not Man-Bat, but he's definitely going to get lumped with my Man-Bat figures. Maybe I remember wrong. Maybe he was flying toward Val Kilmer. I just remember him standing there. But like I said, maybe I'm remembering wrong. I don't like the fact that he's always going to have this permanent giant hole in his belly. I don't like the fact that they're sort of forcing you to use a stand. He does look gorgeous on the stand. You can sort of tilt him like he's gliding. I like it. But I don't like having to use it. If you stand him up and lean him against the back wall, he's on his tippy toes and it looks weird. His feet are not curled enough to have him sort of hang off something else. I had to sort of prop him that way in that one shot. I do like the figure, but he has some flaws. I wish he was a little bit more articulated. But he's a giant figure. The wingspan is more than 20 inches wide. And I'm happy with him, but it could be a little better. If he's standing upright, his head is looking up, and you can't have him looking forward. A little bit more articulation would have been nice in both the legs and the neck. But for what he's supposed to be, and the way you're intended to use him, he does look great. His accessories are non-existent. His articulation, damn near non-existent. It's just the shoulders and the neck, and the jaw. But the looks really make up for a lot of that. He looks fantastic, and it's a cool monster creature figure to add to the collection. If I were to rate this guy, and that's a rough one, because he looks really good, but there's a lot of things that frustrate me about him. Probably going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe I'm undershooting it, I don't know. But he could have been a little better. A little bit more articulation in the legs and the neck. I would have been really happy. And you know what? Maybe I have this ass backwards. Maybe I'm not remembering right at all. Maybe he was just flying up to Val Kilmer the whole time, flapping his wings. But still, as an action figure, it would be nice if he could do a little bit more. I'm sort of treating this like it's a Man-Bat figure, and it's not. It's a giant nightmare bat. It should be literally a bat with no man attached, and that's what it is. But, you know, some things that would have made me enjoy the figure better. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.